Hello, my name is Benjamin Dalton, and my presentation from the assignment is the effects of bullying, mental and physical trauma of the modern youth. Apologies for this being late, but work has to happen. So, what is my personal views? I have a lot of bullying experience, unfortunately, being the victim. Growing up within the rough parts of Morgantown, you experience things that a lot of people might not think about, might not want to think about, couldn't even imagine. Threats to your life, assault to your person, and other forms of torment that cannot be disclosed within this school presentation is often exhibited within not only children but adults. Having to go to class and think about how you might have to defend yourself, how or who might come around behind you just to push you down again is not a mindset that a student should have. Whenever I presented my whenever I presented my dealings of bullying with my teachers, they often just pushed me out of the way or just said I was lying. In my high school of in Short Gap, West Virginia, Frankfurt High School, I was tormented, and often it would be dealt with swiftly. For those who have special needs, it becomes even harder because they don't understand why they're being harassed or targeted, and so having that happen becomes extremely difficult. So, what exactly is bullying? According to the American Psychological Association, or the APA, bullying is a form of aggressive behavior exhibited by both students and teachers who can bully students. Someone intentionally causes harm or discomfort, which can be physical, web-based, or verbal violence. Oftentimes can become life-threatening towards the individual, and in the case of cyberbullying, can actually crush their inner social circle through lies and deceit. The victims of bullying tend to develop severe emotional and psychological problems through the onslaught of these taunts. Oftentimes, the victim does not understand who has targeted them, resulting in constant paranoia. Having nonstop fear without the knowledge of who or where the bully is can often lead to rash actions, including pushing everyone away, being very just lone wolf in the sense of not wanting to be around anyone because you can't trust anyone. On a psychological level, this feeling of danger and being targeted creates an immense stress upon the student mind, raising heart rate, adrenaline, and initiating the fight or flight response, which often leads to fights. Another version of this is the cyberbullying. Cyberbullying can be incredibly dangerous, especially nowadays, considering that the world revolves around the web. Being a target of these cyber behaviors, um, they can actually deteriorate one's social circle, limiting one's use of the internet, thus preventing them from talking to their friends. However, once they get back online, they could be harassed once more. And blocking these guys doesn't help because they could start spreading misinformation to everyone, and you would have no idea. Cyberbullying is the type of aggressive behavior enacted over web-based devices, including sending illicit slash harmful videos or pictures to directly hurt someone, or sharing personal or private information with an intent to harm. Modern day would be doxing. Doxing is a method of exposure to where you use the dark web to find someone's location, their age, all of the information, and you hold that as blackmail, which is obviously criminal behavior. Most of these platforms used in modern day: Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, sometimes Discord. It can be very violent with Discord. Within the 21st century, bullying has transcended schoolyard violence in the sense of physical and transcended into psychological warfare. For instance, prejudicial bullying, being bullying based on sex, religion, or race, and emotional bullying in an attempt to gain power over a social circle and humiliating the victim repeatedly through spreading lies, sharing secrets, and serious manipulative tactics. Safe to say that the evil tactics of modern day can push someone to the extreme, resulting in their suicide. How can you go about correcting the behavior? There's different types, but in this presentation, I've discovered restorative and punitive bullying. In the traditional school, punitive, not bullying, punitive punishment, rather, punitive correction. It's a sense where you punish the child directly through yelling at them. Some parts of the world you can cane them, but suspending, expelling, detentions, etc. But restorative actions engage with the troublemaker to try to create a safe space between the teacher and the student, trying to gain some sort of moral middle ground, understanding the actions, why they're happening, and trying to repair the broken relationships through their misbehavior in the sense of trying to put it back together. To manage bullying, one must get an understanding within the classroom that no such behavior would be tolerated within or outside of the school. The case studies, the case study is very upsetting. With the second option, Sarah has reported to be cyberbullied by her boyfriend and his friends after sending illicit pictures to him, whereupon he starts sharing them with his friend group. The possible outcomes for this behavior could be criminal charging. So both Sarah and her boyfriend could be charged with soliciting child pornography because whilst it is of her, it is still child sexual misconduct. As a teacher, this is so heartbreaking, so hard to understand, so hard to figure out why, how, what to do next. They are just 14. So personally, what I would do is I would sit down with Sarah in a one-on-one confrontation. I would not yell at her. I would not raise my voice. I would not be antagonistic. I would ask questions in a slow, soft manner. I would try to make her feel safe, to make her feel calm, ask her how it happened, who did it, anything I could find. Writing this information down, I would make a mental note to pull together a meeting with parents of both parties, the principal, and the local law enforcement. I could offer punishments in the sense of how do we make sure that this boy does not do this again. One way could be to charge the kid, charge him with serious, serious stuff. Okay? But there could also be an alternative. Instead of jailing the boy, he would have to take responsibility for his actions and no, I'm sorry, or I won't do it again. I would not take that for an answer. He would have to be expelled permanently. No more high school. His parents would have to deal with him on that. Not only that, but he would have to write a letter to the Board of Education apologizing for his actions, and writing a direct letter to Sarah and her parents. Now, his parents aren't going to go scot-free either. They're going to be charged with paying Sarah's therapy fees for however long she needs at 3 years maximum. I would have weekly meetings with Sarah discussing her mentality, how she feels, if she's becoming bullied once more, if she's targeted. And I would only cease the meetings after her first year, cease regular meetings rather. At her second year, I would have meetings semi-weekly, and then I would have a new meeting every semester from that. The other kids would be charged or suspended, and then their faces. This might seem tough, but I want their pictures to be shown everywhere that they were responsible in this terror act, this heinous, brutal humiliation of a poor girl who doesn't know better. As an ending statement, I understand that this is very much aggressive in an approach, but kids are mean. That's just the truth of the matter. Not only they're just mean, they're aggressive. They don't care about the consequences of their actions. Thus, my zero tolerance policy. In the case study of what could happen, it's my job to make sure that every possible outcome is planned out in advance. What could be done? How could I make this better? How could I improve this girl's life after what she just went through? I prefer to be safe than sorry. And my last slide concludes a bullying hotline. UK Childline, Stop Bullying Now hotline, Kids Helpline in Australia, NSPCC Helpline UK, Young Minds UK, and Kids Help Phone Canada. Thank you very much. Here are my references.